Hello, hello, it's Ruby Burrito and welcome. Today we got a pretty big blog post from the ArenaNet team, and I wanted to read through some of it with you guys and kind of address some of the things that they've been talking about. I know there's been a lot of questions about the future of Guild Wars 2, some criticism of the way that Secrets of the Obscure was handled, and a lot of that is addressed here. So let's actually dive right in. I'm going to pull over the website. I think that's just going to make it a little bit easier so you guys can read along with me. If you want to pause and read anything, I'm going to go through it pretty quick. I might skip some things, so let's dive right in. Secrets of the Obscure, looking back and forward. This is a post by Josh Davis talking about how this is the final episode of a major release beginning the annual expansion model. The biggest thing to take away from the introduction here is that we are going to be getting information on next expansion, Expac 5, next week. So next week, Tuesday, or well, it doesn't have to be Tuesday, but next week, we're going to be getting more information as to what is to come. I will be touching on this again later because they did drop a video, and we're going to do a little bit of speculation at the end. So if you're curious about that, there will be a section of the video regarding that. So they transitioned from Living World to annual expansions, and what that does is it gives us quarterly releases. So they did it for a couple of reasons. They wanted to deliver content updates in a more consistent and timely manner, provide better support for the systems and game modes that make up the Guild Wars 2 experience, and enable ArenaNet employees to enjoy a better work-life balance. I think that's important because if you want ArenaNet to give us good content, they have to be enjoying their lives. You know, like they have to want to go to work and want to work on the game. Otherwise, it's just going to feel empty and hollow. Now that we've completed a full expansion release cycle, I can confidently say we've made significant strides toward these goals. But as with all things, there's room for improvement, both in terms of content we deliver and processes through which we deliver it. For today, I'm going to focus on what we've learned on the content side of things. Story. Conclusion of Elder Dragon Saga and End of Dragons presented with a unique opportunity to delve into different kind of storytelling. We aim to focus on deeper narratives grounded in the characters and circumstances around the player character. However, with SoTO, our ambition led us to take a broader scope than feasible. We introduced a lot of new characters, and the plot was too complex for what could be reasonably handled within an annual expansion. This left character interactions feeling rushed and story threads unexplored. More isn't always better. We learned a lot from this experience and have a much greater understanding of story scale within our new release structure. For our next expansion, we're going to tell a more grounded story in a new region of Tyria with a focus on local threats and the global conversations around those threats. I think this is fantastic. This is what we wanted them to do with SoTO, is give us just fully flushed out content, deep delve into exactly what we're looking at so that it feels full and it feels fully immersive. It gives us everything that we want on that one topic. Tyria, despite all its challenges, has continued to stir. While we leave Nyos and the Cryptists to enjoy their newfound freedom, the story will pick up on some threads started in Secrets of the Obscure, continuing with the Astral Ward arc, their moral ambiguity, and their relationship to Tyria. I like this here. This is a really cool piece of art. Map design. We got 3 maps in SoTO. Omnitas and Skywatch Archipelago came with launch, and then directly after that, on the first quarterly release, we got Inner Nyos, which was expanded upon twice. My biggest complaint, personally, is that now with Inner Nyos, we have 3 separate kind of metas, and it's kind of difficult to feel immersed on the map because there's so much going on. They can be going on at the same time, 2 different metas. After extensive adventuring in Inner Nyos in recent months, it's clear that using a single map as the main focal point for 3 releases is not ideal from a player or developer standpoint. Our decision to do so originally stemmed from production constraints and overlapping development timelines between expansions, but we've since identified some ways to mitigate those issues. Good. Next expansion, first 2 maps will come out with the expansion launch, just like SoTO, but the final map will come in the second quarterly update, not the first, and it'll be expanded upon in the third, so only 2 total releases like Biora Marches and Drizzlewood Coast. More time to develop, and it gives us a better way. So for the first quarterly, we're going back to the same 2 maps, which allows them to double down on the same area. And while we're not going to get more map on the first one, there will be plenty of new content to keep you busy in that time frame in terms of story, open world content, and encounters. Again, this is vague, but they can't give us any story. We'll get more information on that next week. And rest assured, the first quarterly release will include something really exciting that players have been requesting for over 5 years. I don't know what that is going to be. I don't know specifically over 5 years. That seems kind of targeted. If you guys have any ideas, let me know down in the comments of what you think this might be, but I'm really excited by that. I know that's roughly around Path of Fire. 2017, I believe, is when Path of Fire came out. That was 7 years ago, so a little bit after Path of Fire is when they were talking about this. End of the Living World Season 4. So this would be before the Icebrood Saga set. So let me know what you guys think down below. Features. There's a lot of bloat. They use the term putting a hat on a hat. So basically every time they add new features, it's harder for them to keep up with all the different features. Over the last few years, we put much more focus on upkeep and iteration of systems and avoiding unnecessary bloat where possible. We put more focus on maintaining live game systems, and with SoTO, we even went to the extent of entirely reworking existing features to make room for modernized solutions. The Wizard's Vault is a good example of this. You can expect to see a new system being introduced in Expac 5 that adds a meaningful new way to spend your time in Guild Wars 2, while using this as an opportunity to greatly improve the player experience with related existing game systems. A couple thoughts that I had while reading this the first time is, like, nobody does dungeons anymore. That was honestly my first thought, is dungeons, maybe fractals. A lot of people still do fractals, but doubling down on the fractals because they're diving back in, and strikes. You got dungeons, strikes, fractals, raids. And there hasn't been any raid releases in a while. You've got no dungeons since the launch of the game. Fractals, they just dropped a new one. But I kind of want to think that they're doing something like that. Otherwise, maybe going back to Living World Seasons 2, 3, and 4. Overall, we were a bit conservative with features in Secrets of the Obscure, trying to strike the right balance between scope, schedule, and risk while navigating a new content structure. They've ironed out a bit of the kinks, and it's allowed them to be a bit more ambitious. So I can't wait. We got a ton of information, it looks like, coming next week, and I'm very excited. Can't wait to talk about that with you guys. And then we're going to end here with a video that they dropped. This is for the new content, so I'm going to be quiet here for a second. So I was correct with the June 4th, next Tuesday timeline for the content, at least the content information, as you saw at the end of that video. To me, it looks very Norn-esque. I'm just going to toss myself over here. So we know that this is kind of like the furthest south that the Norn go. Based on it being more woodland, I would kind of guess... It sounds a little cliche, Woodland Cascades. I believe Wooden Potatoes actually guessed that. So my Blood Legion Homelands, unfortunately, will be wrong based on the architecture and the character that they showed. It's going to be Norn related, and it'll most likely be in this region here. I would love to say it'll be right here, kind of finishing off the connection between Drizzlewood Coast and Bitterfrost Frontier, but I don't think that that quite fits with... what we're looking for here. So I'm gonna guess it's going to be over in this region. So that's gonna wrap it up for today, Tuesday, June 4th. I'll have some more information for you guys about the upcoming expansion, Expac 5. We do believe it is going to be in August based on the special here. You can see that there's 84 days remaining. Oh, it looks like we got a new a new special here. 84 days remaining until we have that. So it's gonna come up pretty quickly, and I'm very excited. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button to support the channel and catch up with all the upcoming content that I'll be putting out. And we'll see you guys in the next one.